Hello friends, in this video we will see how we can format cells in Microsoft Excel 2016. Now all cell contains uses the same formatting by default, which can make it difficult to read workbook with a lot of information. Basic formatting can customize the look and feel of your workbook, allowing you to draw attention to a specific section and making your content easier to view and understand. Now, if you want, then you can change the color, font size, and the font style, and so many things you can do. So, by default, they all carry the same style, same formatting. Now, first, if suppose you want to change the size of your font, so select the cell which contains the text, which contains your text, and then go to the home tab. In from the drop down menu here, you can select whatever the font size you want, or you can use this increase font or decrease font command to increase and decrease according to your requirement. Or maybe you can do what, if it is the numbers are not according to your requirement, like numbers are not what you want, then you can directly type in that box and then your font will be like that. So suppose I'm having a font here in this cell, and it is actually in the 12%, but I need more. I need this should be increased because this is my heading of the topic, heading of the table. So what I can do here in the home tab, we have a font group just like in Microsoft Word, and we can use this group all commands to format those text what we have in the cell. So I want to increase the size. I go here, I can select whatever the size I need. It increases, you can adjust it. Now you can use this command also, increase font and decrease font, if you want to increase it or you want to decrease it, but it goes same as the numbers you have here. And you can see here after 22 directly you have 24, and if you need 24, then directly it is 26 and then 28. And suppose if I need 25, it is not there, so I can directly type here in the box 25 and then press enter, and it will become the size of 25. Now same as for the size, by default the font of each new workbook is set to Calibri, and however Excel provides many other fonts you want, but you can customize it too. But by default every cell contains what, Calibri by default. Now if you can see here in this sheet also, by default what is it using, the font style is Calibri. We can change it to any other style. Same, you just select the cell which you want to modify, then again from here in the font style, select the drop down and choose what font style you want. You can go for any, you can choose whatever you want, and then your font will be changed like that. So same as here, I want to change, I select the cell here, I want to change this one, I go here, by default it is using Calibri, I go to drop down and then I can select what I want. And when you hover the mouse there, you can see the preview in the sheet. You can see the preview, and whatever you like, then you can just select it. Let's say I go with this one, and you can see it is changed. Then we want to change the color also. So if we want to change the color, again you select the cell which you want to modify, and then can go to this color option. This is for font color, and from the drop down menu you can choose whatever color you want. You can choose from there, you can choose whatever you like. Select the cell which you want to choose or which you want to change. Go to the font group and use this command, that is font color. You can use drop down, or you can directly use the color which is available here in the command. When you click it, it will use directly that color. It uses that color. If you want other color, then you can go and drop down and select what color you want. There are many options here, different shades, different colors, and you can choose any of those, or you can go for more colors. The colors will be displayed, it will appear in the text. And if you want to have more color, the color which is not in that list, then you can go for more color, and you can choose from some standard color, and for more you can go for custom colors also, and you can choose what color you want. So suppose I don't know, I don't like the colors which it is available here, so I will go for more colors here. And from here I have two options, custom or standard. Standard, that is predefined colors are there. You can see here, this is the current color which I have selected, and this is the new color which I'm going to select here. You can see the preview. Or even you want more control, then you can go to custom, and then you can decide which type of color you want. You can decide the shades. You can see the preview here. You can draw where you want to go and what shade you want. So right now it is this color, I want this color, press OK, done, it is changed. It is changed. Then we can use this bold, italic and underline option to underline or bold our text what is inside the cell. Just simple, select the cell and then select what you want. It will be changed according to your selection. So suppose I want to change it, I want to make it bold. I select it, I press it. This is what the bold command. It is getting bold. Or I can use italic, or even I can use underline. Even I have more options for this, underline, double underline. Now we can add the borders also. Cell borders and fill colors allow you to create clear and defined boundaries for different section of your worksheet. So if you are having a different section in your worksheet, just like here in this image below, the cell borders are fill color to our header cells to help distinguish them from the rest of the worksheet. So as you can see the image here, this is my data. This is my data, and this is what the heading of those data. That means date. That is what these are dates. These are weights, these are chest, waist, hips, forearms, and this is so on. So these data, but by default suppose they are in Calibri and they are in same font size. Now they are what? They are looking similar. They are not distinguished. So what we can do, we can add a border, we can add color so that they can be differentiated other than the other data. So we can do that, we can differentiate, we can put borders, and for that just select the cell which you want to have a border, and then from here you can click from the home group, from the home tab, from the home font group you can select this command for shading, and you can select what shading you want. It will do what? It will shade, it will put the shading on the all cells which you have selected. You can select one cell or you can select multiple cells, and then you can see the color is appeared in these all cells together. This is what? This is a coloring. So I want to change the color for this because you can see it is appearing same as the other text, but this is my heading. So I select single cell, I can go here, I can click directly the command and it will use the same color which is showing there. Or even I can use to select the all cells which I want to change, and I can use here from the drop down, I can use what color I want to use. What color, what shade I want, I can select, and then it will change. Now the selected fill color will appear in the selected cells. Now we also change the font color to white to make it more readable with this dark fill color. If you see this in our sheet here, I fill it the dark color, but it is what the text is what the font is in black color. So it is not looking, it is not appearing very good and it is not readable. So same as when you change the fill color for cells, so you should also change what the text colors so that it should appear more. So from here again, just like we did it for this one, we click here and we can choose the color which is more readable and visible. So I'll go with some dark color, some light color so that it is more visible. And now you can see the text is now visible and the backside the cell is filled with dark color. Now to add a border, we have added the fill color. Now we should add the border also. For adding the border, first select the cells which you want to add the border. Now remember, you can see the border lines there. It is already showing some borders, but actually this is not a border. This is a reference grid line. This is just a reference grid line. It is not visible. It is very light. It is just a reference grid line to get you the reference that this is a separate cell than this one. But you want to highlight this. You want to highlight that these are separate values in separate cells. Then what you do, you can select those cells which you want to have a border, and then from the home tab you have in a font group we have this command borders, and then from here we can choose different border options we can choose from. This is like we are adding a table into Microsoft Word, and then we can change the border styles. So we can choose what type of border you want. You can have a border at bottom, top, left, right, or even no border, or then you can choose all borders. So there are multiple options to choose from, and when you select that borders will appear in there. So I selected my cells here. I go to this font group. Here is the border command. Now by default it is border bottom. If I select this, it will add the bottom border at the bottom, only the bottom. Let's see this. If I click this, now it added the border at the bottom. If you see, it is only adding the border at the bottom, not anywhere else. Just like that, you can select other options. Border at top, that means it will add only border here. The selection top, border left, that means only add border in this side. Border right, that means it will add only in this side. No border, that means it will not add any border. All border will add all the borders to all the lines, all the cells. Outside border, that means it will add only the border outside the selection. And thick border outside, you can add double border bottom, thick bottom border. You can add top bottom border. You can add top thick bottom border. You can add these different options. Let's go with all borders now. Now you can see the borders, visible borders. Previously there are some borders, but there is only those are only a reference grid. Still we can see there are reference grids in these other cells, but they are not border. Now you can see these are different values. You can differentiate the values. Then you can draw border itself also. That means you can draw your own border, line style and color of border with the draw border tools at the bottom of the border drop down menu. So in the bottom of the border drop down menu, you have a draw border command also, where you can choose your own border. You can draw the border, you can choose the color of the border and other options. Like if you go to this, you have these commands here. To draw the border, to draw border grid, you have option to erase border. You can choose the color of the border. You can choose the line, how much what is the style of line you want. Let's say I want this style, and I want this color, and okay, I draw the border. Now see, my mouse becomes like a pen, and now whenever I select anywhere, I will see the border there. You can see the border, it is changing. It is changing for every cell I am selecting. So we can draw border ourselves also. Then you can click back, no border, draw border, then it will disable. And even you can delete the borders also if you want. Now the cell is style. Now instead of formatting cell manually, that means manually selecting the style, manually selecting the font style, font color, Excel can use this pre-designed cell style. That cell styles are quick way to include professional formatting for your different parts of your workbook, like such as your titles, headers, and something else. So there are some predefined styles also we have, and if you want to choose that, that means like this is our title here, the sheet we have this title, so we can choose this as a title or existing header cell. So suppose I want to modify some of this, so I will select this cell, and then from this cell style group, cell style command, when you click, it is a drop down command from the home tab, and then what, it will show you all these different styles to choose from. So you can select whatever style you want, and then it will appear in your document. The selected style will appear, and remember, applying the cell style will replace an existing cell formatting except for text alignment. You may not want to use cell style if you have already added a lot of formatting to your workbook. So if I suppose add my new style to this predefined style to this title, then it will remove the existing style which I have selected, color and font and whatever. But it will not change the alignment. Alignment, that means it is left align. So it will remain left align. It will not go and become right align or center align. So it will not change that, but it can instead change the font, change the style. So if you want, then you can select the cell you want, and then here in the home tab, style group, style as group, you have cell styles. When you click on the drop down, you have these different options, and as you hover your mouse there, you can see the changes. You can see the changes. So if you select one of this, that means it will remove the existing one. Suppose I select this title, this is my title. So you see it has changed the previous one. So mostly if you have already done manually, then you should not use that one. And if you have not done any, then you can use that one. Now to do the alignment. By default, any text entered into your worksheet will be aligned to the bottom left of the cell, and while any numbers will be aligned to the bottom right of the cell. So numbers will go bottom right and text will go bottom left. Now changing the alignment of your cell content allows you to choose how the content is displayed in your cell, which can make your cell content easier to read. So for changing the alignment, you just select the cells which you want to change. Suppose I want to change, I will select the cells which I want to change or which I want to modify, and then from the home group, home tab, you have this alignment group, and from there you can choose the alignment option which you want. Here you have these alignment options. This is what top, this is bottom, this is center, and here you have alignment left, alignment right, and alignment in the middle. So you have two criterias: top, middle, top, center, and bottom, and top, middle, and bottom, and left, center, and right. So you can choose where you want to put your text, and then your text will go to that place. Like this is my title and I want the title to be in the center. So it is by default, you can see it is aligned to left. I can do align to right. I can do align to center. And it is not the width of the height of the row is not much, so you can see it is not, we are not seeing the difference. But if suppose I select these cells, so as you can see they are left bottom. So if I want them to be a center, so if I click this, then you see they go center but they still remain on bottom. We can go and put them into middle, or even we can go and put them into top. So it is depend on your requirement where you want your text should be appear and where it looks good. So I go with the middle. So there is two options there to change the vertical text alignment and change the horizontal. So vertical we have changed this, uh, horizontal we change this, vertical we can change this, the text heading. So this is what horizontal and this is what vertical alignment. Now even we can use both at the same time. Now one more thing we have here also, format painter. So if you want to copy formatting from one cell to another, then what you can use the format painter command on the home tab. You can, when you click the format painter, it will copy all of the formatting from the selected cell, and you can then click and drag over any cell you want to paste the formatting. It is what it becomes easy for you to create the same formatting for other cells which you have. Suppose I have created, I have converted one formatting to one cell. Now I want to use the same formatting in other cells also. So instead of creating manually, we can use this format printer and we can format the uh, other cells as a same format we have in the previous cell. So if suppose you want to use this, for example, suppose I have here one, this is different format we have done. So if suppose I want to use this one here in other cells, so I select the cell which I have the format, I go to this format printer, and then now you can see our mouse is showing that brush. So when I click here in this cell, now it becomes as a same format this cell has. Or you can copy to multiple cells also. They all become same formatting. But in this case, I don't want to use that one here in that bottom cell. Now, the next thing is number formats. Whenever you are working with a spreadsheet, it is a good idea to use appropriate number formats for your data. This number formats tell your spreadsheet exactly what type of data you are using. So like percentage, currency, times, date, and so on. Now number formats don't just make your spreadsheet easier to read, they also make it easier to use. So when you apply a number format, you're telling your spreadsheet exactly what type of values are stored in a cell. So for example, the date. Date formats tell the spreadsheet that you are entering specific calendar dates. This allows the spreadsheet to better understand your data, and which can help ensure that your data remains constant, consistent, and that your formulas are calculated correctly. So if you don't need to use a specific number format, the spreadsheet will usually apply the general number format by default. However, the general format may apply some small formatting changes to your data. So if you want to add the date in some cell, so our spreadsheet must know that, it should know that this is a date. Now, if you add some percentage, currency, so it should know that this is percentage data or this is what currency data. So in the Excel sheet, when we use any formula or function by using those formats or those cells, then our Excel knows, the spreadsheet knows that this is the date and this is the currency, this is the percentage data. So what, it can work like that. So it is easier for the spreadsheet to know and calculate the data according to your number format. So by default, when we don't give any number format, all the cells contain general format, general number format. So just like other types of formatting such as changing the color, font color, you will apply the number formats by selecting the cell and choosing the desired formatting option. So there are there are two main ways to choose a number format. So in this home tab, you have a group number, and here you have option to add your number format. So there are two ways you have. So first is to go to the home tab from the number group. You can click the drop down menu and from there you can select the desired format. So you have this drop down to select, and you can see by default it is what, general. So you can drop down and then you can select what format you want. The other way is to choose this quick formatting option, quick number formatting options. Directly you can click from here for currency, for percentage. So you can directly select it from here for decimal data. Now if you want to change the number formatting, for example here there are some numbers and this I want to convert them as a currency. So my spreadsheet understand that this is what, currency. So what we can do, we can go for the drop down and we can select what, the currency. So it will automatically add the symbol in your cells according to the number value. So if you select any cell with number formatting, you can see the actual value of the cell in the formula bar. So here it shows the formatted number formatted, but actual value you always see in the formula bar. The spreadsheet will use this value for formulas and other calculation. So when we use any formula or other calculation with this cell, so the value which is going to be used is, you can see here in the formula bar. Now using the number formats correctly. So you have to understand a correct format for the number formatting. So there are more to number formatting than selecting cell and apply a format. So spreadsheet can actually apply a lot of number formatting automatically. That means without you are selecting also, our Excel sheet will understand that this is the data, this is some kind of data and what kind of data it is. So based on the way you enter the data, and that is based on the way you enter the data. So this means you will need to enter data in a way the program can understand, and then ensure that those cells are using the proper number format. For example, the image you see here in this side, it shows these to use the number format correctly for dates, percentage and time. So what is the right way to add the date? It is like this. That means month, day and year. It is not like this, January 1st. If you want to write like this, then you should write like this, 1st January. It can also work. Then for percentage, when you ask for the percentage, you have to write like 50 and you have to make sure that you give the percentage symbol. If you don't give the percentage symbol, it is wrong. It will go as a number 50. And time, you should not write like this. You should write 12 p.m. Write like this. So this is what wrong way of giving the data, and this is the right way of giving the data. So one of the most helpful number format is the percentage format. It displays value as percentages such as 20%, 55%. Now this is specifically helpful when calculating things like the cost of sales text or trip. So when you type a percentage sign after a number, the percentage number format will be applied to that cell automatically. So if you do that, let's see that. Uh, So let's see here, I write this 15 and I give percentage, enter. Now you can see here in the number group, it is already selected what percentage. So our Excel automatically knows that this is what a percentage data. In any other cell, you can see it is general, it is normal. Again, I say here 20 percentage. Now it was general. Now you can see it is changed to percentage. So it automatically detects the change. You have other options in the drop down to choose from, and you can also choose it from here. Now, as you may remember from math classes, a percentage can also be written as a decimal, like if you want to say 15%, that means it is means the same as 0.15. 7.5% is also mean what? 0.075. 20% means what? 0.20, and same as 55% means 0.55 as a number in decimal. Why? Because you should know how you calculate the percentage. How we calculate the percentage? If suppose I have a number 500 and I want to get the percentage 15 of this 500, then what we do here, first we get the 15%. We do what? We multiply this 15, we divide this 15 with 100, and we get the value 0.15. That is why we also say 15 percentage is actually means 0.15. Then what you do, you multiply this 15 with 500, and then you will get what? The percentage. So it is actually what we say 15% is actually means 0.15. So if you see, so there are many times when percentage formatting will be useful. For example, in the image here you can see, and you can notice the sale tax rate is formatted differently for each spreadsheet. So as you can see here in this image, here I have write only 5, but when I calculate the percentage of tax here for the amount, this one, what I'm getting 112.50, that is wrong. For 22.50, the 5% is not 112.50, but when I give this 5 and I give percentage symbol, then Excel will do what? It actually uses the value what? 0.5. So it is same as you give 0.05, or it is giving say 5 and then percentage symbol. It is same as what? Giving 0.05, and you can see Excel will calculate the correct value here. But if you don't give a percentage symbol and you assume like this is my 5%, so Excel don't know about that, because the 5% is actually means what? 0.05. Now for the date format. So whenever you are working with the dates, you want to use a date format to tell the spreadsheet that you're referring to a specific calendar date, such as July 15, 2014. Now date formats also allow you to work with powerful set of date functions. There are some functions, they are very powerful functions we have in Excel, which uses the dates, which manipulates and uses the data of dates. Now it uses what? The date and time to calculate some answers. Now spreadsheet don't understand information the same way a person would. That means if you type October into a cell, then spreadsheet won't know you're entering a date, so it will treat it like any other text. It will treat it like just normal October. Instead, when you enter a date, you need to use a specific format your spreadsheet will understand, such as month, day and year. This is what? The format: month, day and year, or even you can go for day, month and year, depending on which country you are in. Now that depend on your country. Now in this example here, you see in this type 10 12 14 or October 12 14, or spreadsheet will then automatically apply the date number format for the cell. So whether you type like this or you type like this, it will automatically understand. So if I type here 10 12 2014 and I say enter, and you can see it automatically changes to date just like percentage. Or if I say here it is general, I say October 12 2014, and you see automatically it is changes the way it accepts, and it is also changed to this like this. Now, if the date formatting isn't applied automatically, it means the spreadsheet did not understand the date you entered. So in this example here, you see I write the March 15th. Now, the spreadsheet did not understand that we are referring to a date, so this cell is still using the general format. Instead, on the other hand, if we type March 15 without the TH, then the spreadsheet will they recognize that it is a date because it doesn't include year. So it will not, if it is not including the year, then it will automatically add the current year. But we can understand that it is what we are meaning 15th March, but Excel don't understand that like this. So if I say here, if I add like March 15th, so it is a general format, and when I enter it, it will remain in general. It is using it as a normal text. We understand this, but Excel don't. Now if I remove this th, now you can see Excel automatically get it like it is a date. Now remember, it is not showing the year, but it is actually taking what the current year. You can see in the formula bar. So here it is showing 15 March, but in the formula bar it is showing the whole date. And you can see the format is what? Month, date and year. Other date formatting options are also available. To access the other date formatting options, select the number format drop down menu, and then from there you can go for the more format, more number formats. Then you can select other formats there for the date. You have different ways of adding your date, and you can choose how you want to add, how you want to display your date there in the cell. So it will change according to your selection. So just like the date we have here, I want to have a separate way. So I go here in the drop down menu from this number group, and I can select even from here that it is the number, it is only a currency or account, short date, long date, time, percentage, friction, scientific, or I can go for more, and from this dialog box I can select what I want. I can select it is a date and what kind of date. So I can select these numbers, different formats. Let's say I will use this one, which is having a date or day also. And now you can see it is displaying the day and the month and the date and the year all together. And it is what? The date format. Now we have some tips for the adding the formation. Now here are some of the tips. Now first tip is what? Apply number formatting to an entire column. So if you're suppose applying the number formatting, so you should apply it to the whole column. Why? Because if you select a particular cells, then what after that cells? So cells are very big. Suppose I'm adding this as a percentage. Okay, I want these cells to be work like a percentage. So I go here and I select that it should be percentage. Now when I add the data here, 14, and you can see it is automatically adding the percentage. 15, 17, 82, 36, 34, 85. It is adding automatically the percentage. But if suppose I select then after that 25, but you see the column is very big. It is having more than 1 million cells in one column. So how long you can go there? So instead of selecting some cells, you can do what? We can select the whole column. That means till the end it will remain the percentage. It will not change the data. It will not change the type to general. It will not change back to general. It will remain percentage till the end of the sheet. Then the other tip is what? Double check your values after applying number formatting. So whenever you apply a number formatting, remember to double check it. Otherwise, you know what? You should get wrong. Then increase the decimal and decrease the decimal commands allow you to control how many decimal places are displayed in a cell. These commands don't change the value of the cell. Instead, they display the value to a set number of decimal places. Like for example, here I'll show you. In this image, if you see, the value is what? 19.95. Now after 95, so here in the formula bar, what is your saying? 19.95. It is actually the value. Now if I decrease the decimal, I can decrease it from here. I can increase it from here. Now when I decrease it to 1 decimal, so it is showing only 1 now, 0, dot 0. Now dot 0 cannot represent what? 9.5. So it goes what? Maximum. It does not go to 9 because it is not 9, it is 9.5. So what it is showing here? It is showing 0 here. But the actual value you will see in the formula bar, the value which is going to be calculated when you use any kind of formula or function. So when you decrease the decimal value, it will show you the round up value here. And you see here it is not showing 19 here, it is showing directly 20. But the actual value you can see here in the formula bar. And I'll show you that. So if suppose I have here, I will show you 19.95. And you can see in the formula bar and here both are showing the same values, but here I have option to decrease and increase the decimal point. So if I decrease it, now you see here it is showing round up value 20, but still here in the formula bar it is showing the actual value which is going to be calculated when we use any formula. So we can decrease the decimal value, we can increase the decimal value from here. But it is not changing the value. Actually, it is only changing the display value. But the actual value, it always remains the same. You can see in the formula bar. And that is it for the formatting of our Excel sheet cells. And this is all we have in this video. So in the next video, we will see some other things. Till then, have a good day and thank you.